So, let me just give you some background to the whole Max Ighan thing, I guess. But Max, unfortunately, who is known for his excellent research.
You're living in an enclosed reality. This Earth is flat. All weather is controlled. There's a domed roof over the top. Everything the Flat Earth is saying, well, not everything, but a lot of what the Flat Earthers are saying is absolutely true.
Hola, Internet amigos, it's Brendan O'Connell. Today's date is 9:38 a.m. It is Saturday, December the 18th. And we shall talk about Ricardo Bossi and Max Ighan. Why would I want to talk about these clowns? Just very briefly, this is a very quick video. There's a lot of things happening. There's a lot of work on. Ricardo Bossi is ex-Special Forces, SAS, Special Air Service, Lieutenant Colonel. Maybe he knows Colonel James McMahon retired. Maybe they could have a word about Israel, Russia, China together. But Bossi is an absolute Islamic hater, pro-Zionist, Israel lover, who now claims he's not an Israel lover. I'm going to show you a brief video where Max Ighan has issued a challenge. The lunatic Max Ighan, who believes the earth is flat and covered by a dome. I'm going to show you all that video stuff. The reason I'm even bothering with this is that a friend contacted me, I've known for 25 years, finally starts watching my videos because of COVID, woke him up. And he says, you should contact this guy, Max Ighan. He's a really good speaker. Have you heard him speak? He's magnificent. I thought, oh my God. Max Ighan is a raving, lunatic, career scamming piece of garbage. And I'll show you. Now let's listen to ask the questions. Why is Ricardo Bossi and his buddy, the Aussie Cossack, why is Ricardo Bossi giving a mention, a shout out to Max Ighan, where he actually says, Max Ighan usually does very good research. Now, Ighan is challenging Bossi that he's a Zionist and a, quote, Jew lover. This is Max Ighan. Now in Mexico, no one knows how he got out of Australia without being vaccinated. When people are still trying to go and see their kids in Japan and still can't get permission to get out of the country. So people say, oh, no, you just fly out. Well, that's not my information. So we're all a little wondering, but his father used to, Max Ighan's father used to run airports. I know that because I've spoken with Max Ighan extensively in 2017 and called him out when he took all my information on Israel, artificial intelligence, 5G, smart cities, and just then went on to remove the word Israel completely, Telpiot program, Unit 8200, removed it completely from every single word he said. And when I pulled him up, said, what the effing hell's going on, buddy? You don't take that information and pull Israel out of it. That shows you what you are. And he, oh, how could you say these things against me? I'm just trying to help. And that went on to a long process of me finding out more and more about Ighan. His behavior with the other scammer, Ken O'Keefe, the drug-addicted, moronic, career scammer. He's ripped off hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they fell out over the loot. Just to let you know that Max Ighan told me that Ken O'Keefe, when he went to Gaza with that's how he got his fame. He's lived off this fame of getting through the tunnels and getting into Gaza with Ken O'Keefe. Not an easy thing to do. So you're going to have a few contacts. But he said Ken O'Keefe is nutty. He was running around. People were firing guns. And he's going, are you scared yet, Max? Are you scared yet? And then Max Ighan believes he was drugged by Ken O'Keefe. He said, he gave me a drink. I woke up in the morning, it was like a rohypnol. I was just out, no memory. And then he ripped off $300,000 of money meant for Gaza. He's banned from Gaza. And I didn't say anything. I just went, okay, Max. I just said in my head, so you then hung around with him for another 7 years after you believed he stole $300,000. Was a CIA asset who runs around trying to scare people with gunfire with his friends. He said he was ordering around the Hamas militia people, and he drugged you, and you still stayed with him for another 7-8 years. I told you, Max Ighan's either nutty or just a sociopathic scammer, or both. And he's got drug habit. He's on the meth. He's on the ayahuasca. He's on the pot full time. The guy's a nut. And we'll show you just how nutty Max Ighan really is. And then ask, why is Ricardo Bossi, who's obviously I don't like, obviously, for obvious reasons. Why is Ricardo Bossi, a former Lieutenant Colonel of the Special Air Service with many, many connections, why is he giving a shout out to Max Ighan, a well-known scam artist lunatic, and saying he usually does good research? Wait for it. Then we'll go into Jeff Berwick in Acapulco, who's just, you only have to Google Jeff Berwick fraud. Voila. There you've got it. You can watch hours of videos of him scamming hundreds of thousands of dollars out of people for Mexican passports. He is the worst of the worst. He is a drug addicted, and he's bisexual, but that's okay. It's not a crime to be bisexual. When you are a closet bisexual, who when you're drugged up with a bunch of Mormons and a friend of mine in San Diego suddenly raised at the table, you know, sometimes I just have to have sex with a man. He likes transvestites. That's not a crime, but it's just the closet nature. They're all drug addicts, sexual deviants. As Patrick Berge says about, Alex Jones. So I can't show you the hours of footage we have on them, and they're bullshit. I'm going to show you some of it. And then we're going to talk about C.W. Chanter, who is a lawyer, got his own problems, pretty weird, but when he did these videos, he did two. One has been taken down. He pulls apart Max Ighan's defense of Don Ferguson. Who is Don Ferguson? He goes by the name of Zen Gardner. He was the PR man for the Children of God pedophile cult. It was a pedophile cult. Daniel Berg, well-known pedophile cult. He was there for 27 years. That's a long stretch of time. I didn't see anything. Everything was fine. And then you're the PR man, the public relations officer. You knew exactly what was going on. Right? He is a pedophile enabler, if not engaging in pedophilia. And Max Ighan defended him to his last breath. Now, I've collated all the videos, all the material, and I put it in a folder on my Mega Cloud account. You can download it. It is linked below. It's on my Patreon. And you can watch those videos to your heart's content. You can also find many of them. A lot of them are gone, but you can still find some of them online. The ones on YouTube are very hard to find. C.W. Chanter does an excellent job going after Zen Gardner and the Children of God pedophile cult. After watching this, you will see exactly what Max Ighan is. And no one ever contact me again saying, Max Ighan's just so good. You should call. He's in Mexico. Max Ighan is a lying, scamming piece of garbage. This is not a difference in opinion or tactics. He is a lying, scamming, sociopathic, bullshit artist, piece of garbage. Drug addict, off his brain on methamphetamine. Let's now cross briefly to Ricardo Bossi, saying how wonderful Max Ighan. He's got a disagreement with Max. And what fine research he does. Then we're going to go to Max Ighan saying the earth is flat and covered by a dome and how he was hit in the head with a beam. He's clearly off his head on meth. He's in a meth psychosis. And then we'll go into Jeff Berwick briefly. And you can Google right now, Jeff Berwick fraud, and knock yourself out. The guy should be in jail. He's ripping off little old ladies to the tune of $50,000. He has scamming property deals. He scams. He has an endless list of scams. How the hell does he just keep getting away with it? This is amazing. These people are protected somehow. Let's go to Ricardo Bossi.
Ricardo, this is the last question I have. Again, all of our state coordinators are receiving this question. It's with regards to Max Ighan. So he released a video the other day, and he's essentially shit canning you. So I'm sure you've seen that video, and people just want to know essentially what your stand is on that.
Yeah, sure. It's disappointing is the best I can say. Okay, let's have a look at it. Apparently, I'm a Jew lover and a Zionist, and a whole bunch of other meaningless words. Despite the mountains of evidence that I am not pro-Israel or against Israel, I am pro-Australia. I'm not sure if people can understand that. And tell you what I'm heartily sick of. Are you pro this or pro that? I'm pro-Australia. Are you pro this or pro? I'm pro-Australia. I am sick to death of watching 100,000 different flags claiming to be Australian. We have a dream. One flag, one people, one country. That's where we're heading towards. That's it. That is it. And that's all we want to do. So let me just give you some background to the whole Max Ighan thing, I guess. But Max, unfortunately, who is known for his excellent research,
You're living in an enclosed reality. This earth is flat. All weather is controlled. There's a dome roof over the top. Everything the flat earthers are saying, well, not everything, but a lot of what the flat earthers are saying is absolutely true.
He must have just skipped a couple of moments. And I can understand his frustration because I really can understand his frustration because he's a long way from the fight. A young lady in Victoria committed suicide in pursuit of her cause, and he's lost it, and now he's calling for people to kill. Well, isn't that funny? The pacifist anarchist is now calling for people to be killed, and the Special Forces colonel, who's accused of leading a military crew, is telling everybody non-violent, non-cooperation. Folks, pay attention. You just got to keep paying attention. Now, let me just show you a bit of background to that now.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that little bit. Now, let's now cross to Max Ighan saying the Earth is flat and covered by a dome.
But as I said, folks, I'm here to tell you the truth, the absolute truth, to the best of my knowledge. And as I said, it's going to be an unpleasant truth for a lot of people. But this is, after all, the truth movement, isn't it? So that's what I'm going to do. So here goes, folks. You're living in an enclosed reality. This Earth is flat. All weather is controlled. There's a dome roof over the top. Everything the flat earthers is saying, well, not everything, but a lot of what the flat earthers are saying is absolutely true. This is an enclosed environment, and this Earth, where we're playing, this playing field that we're on, whether it's the Earth, but the playing field is flat. I do not think that the Earth is a globe. I think it's actually something quite different to what everybody else thinks, but I don't want to speculate with any of this. But one thing I can confirm absolutely is that the Earth is flat. And all weather is controlled. Obviously, I can't confirm the diagram up there. And not only is the Earth flat, but what our home has been turned into is basically a theme park like Westworld, where you have a parasitic influence that comes down and plays Westworld with real people. When you look at the work of John Lash with the Archons, and I highly recommend that you read a passage by Carlos Castaneda called The Predator Mind, because this is exactly how it works. And I know that because I almost got my full code of awareness back on Saturday night, and it's a long story, folks. I'm going to try to give it to you in a way that's understandable, but like I said, you'll probably think I'm crazy, but this is how the game works. You're in a game, and you need to know how the game works so you can make it through the next level. And somebody needs to hear this information, because as they tell you in the movies, they tell you everything in the movies. There can be only one. I can tell you what the movies are for. I can tell you what the truth movement's for. The truth movement was to weed out the remnants of the last level. See, when they conquer a world, they conquer it in levels. The first level was Hyperborea, and that's where the white people came from. When Hyperborea was conquered and frozen over, they had an ice age. The people who escaped Hyperborea escaped into the next realm, which I believe to be the Atlantean age, which we are at the end of that age now. Through that age, that would have gone down to Tartaria, and they probably had cataclysms and mud floods and stuff along the way. The mud flood is absolutely correct. The guy from Mud Fossils University is absolutely correct in what he says. The guy from the No Forest on the Flat Earth, I would suggest, is absolutely correct in what he says. This was how they went down the levels, and each time they go down a level, the inhabitants get smaller and smaller and smaller. When they've done the level, all of the mining that they've done from that level, I would suggest they don't need this stuff. It's just, all they're looking for is the crystals and the gold and the silver and the essence of this realm that we're in. So I think they take most of that stuff, they build the stuff we need out of it, and then they just save it all up. And then at the end of the level, they just dump it all in the ocean, or whenever they need a cataclysm or a tidal wave, they just dump a whole bunch of dirt in the ocean, and that creates the tidal wave. That's the earthquake that you hear. That's the big kapunk. When they dump all that soil back in the ocean, and it creates an earthquake, or an earthquake and a tidal wave. And when they dump enough in there at the end of the level, the mud mixes with the salt water from the ocean, and it floods the places. And as the Mud Fossil University guy says, it covers people with silt and sediment, and the bones turn to stone. And then on the people in the next level, people after the cataclysm, dig these bodies up. They don't know their bodies. They dig them up and they build their homes out of them. So we're essentially living in a tomb. When you look at when the internet came online, as I've said on my talks, also the Lucifer system. That's what it is, folks. It's the Lucifer system, the code that bears the light, and the light is the awareness that it's stealing from you. See, the way the parasite works is that every time you have that aha moment, it steals that energy from you and it puts it online, and therefore you transfer that piece of consciousness into the virtual world, and you lose that essence of your own awareness and becomes part of the machine. And that's how they steal all of your awareness. That's how it goes. We have not really got any idea what virtual reality is and what it's doing and what it has done. It's powered by our awareness. And why they created the truth movement was because at the end of each level, they distill that awareness down. They stage an event such as 9/11. They get someone like Alex Jones to go out there, who's probably a biological robot. You know, they get him to go out there, and he creates the truth movement, and then anybody who is asleep from Hyperborea, who they haven't got rid of yet, at the end of the level here, is going to wake up and go, hey, the truth, and they're going to go through and they're going to want to, you know, push the truth and find out what it is. So if you go through that, by doing that, they distill the essence of the truth. They find out where the one is, because there can only be one. So they tell you in the movies. You know, that's what the truth movement's for. I've said to you on my shows, it's a fishing exercise. How did I know that it is? It's a fishing exercise. And that's what they staged 9/11 for. They wanted to find us. Of course, you think that's because they want to keep us contained in the smart cities. No, it's not about that at all. It's because they're looking for the one. You know, there's always one in every cycle. They tell you in the Matrix, there's always one in every cycle. This is the way it works. And so, folks, there's no ego in anything I'm saying here. I'm simply giving you this message because it's extremely important, because someone needs to get through the next level. If we don't complete the next level, well, I suspect, you know, it may see the end of this realm. And the next level is going to be the third world. But anyway, because the walk-ins or whatever, the biological robots that are here who don't know they're robots, these are all the people you can't wake up, and you will never wake up. And these are all the voices that shout back at you. A lot of them are bots, and some of them are trolls. And the trolls, some of the trolls are actually your friends. They're trying to tell you how to find your way through the game, and they're shouting at you to listen to them because you're missing an important piece of the puzzle, which is what the flat earthers were doing to me. I backed out around all these cars and drove down around the house and around the tree and drove over the steps a bit and did all this stuff just to get out. So I had to get in there and get this information uploaded. And that night, a bit after midnight sometime, I had this huge light shine on my head, and I had this huge download of the whole game and how it works and what's going on here and how it's played in levels. The mind parasites, and everybody's right to a degree. That's the thing. You've got to look at all the doctrines and be careful what you believe, because there's elements of truth in everything. But our belief system's getting in the way, but ultimately it's about the truth. And the truth movement has been a fishing exercise to find who could crack the code, who could crack the game. And I've cracked the game because I'm the one who saw the light, you know, I'm the chosen one. I mean, it's sick the way they do this, folks, the way they run this. They put all these doctrines in there and you expect all this stuff to happen. But the fact is that I think they are waiting for the Saviour. And I think, had I said the earth is flat on the first video that I uploaded, perhaps I would have gone up in that light that hit my forehead during the so-called planetary alignment. I would have been taken from this realm before it reaches the next level. It's just a thought. I hope I haven't missed my ride, but maybe I have. I have a sneaking suspicion that I have. And I don't know what the next chapter is from this point. I don't know what is next in store for me. But I know that my life is now very, very different to what it was like.
How'd you like that? Okay. Now let's cross to the next day when Max Ighan says, oh, I was hit in the head by a light beam, man. Whoa. Yeah, it's just the dribbling garbage you're about to see. You're just going to go, what? All right. And understand that this guy has a long history of scams. That's why he's with #1 scammer Ken O'Keefe, drug addict scammer. Now he's with another drug addicted scammer called Jeff Berwick. He likes drug addicted scammers. This isn't a disagreement on a little thing. It's not something Max Ighan said once 10 years ago or a year ago that you grab out of context. It's not like he shook hands with someone at a conference and now we're going to tie them together. This is a man with a long history of bullshit, scamming, idiocy, and retardedness. And now you have a former Special Forces commander with strong ties politically with all sorts of people is now shouting him out. Bossy is in league with the tubby Aussie Cossack, all pro-Putin. You're working it out. We need to get Bossy, who's big on China, and tell him all about Israel's relationship with China and Russia. And I will talk to Ricardo Bossy. He just has to disavow his past, stop being an Islam hater, and say, yes, I agree, Sharia law needs to go and be burnt in a great big bonfire along with all their other shit. The Wahhabis are total lunatics. They were put there by the City of London. The good King Faisal was taken out by Henry Kissinger and replaced with a bunch of Wahhabist nutcases. At the same time, they did the same thing in '79 in Iran in their version, which is still, in my opinion, better than the Wahhabi. I'd rather be in jail in Iran than in jail in Saudi, I assure you. All right. And unlike Bossy, I've been to Iran. Very nice people, but they were placed there by the City of London. They put their oil money in the banks in London and Europe, and that's how the deal works. They're all coke addicts whilst using Sharia law to oppress their own people, and the decent Saudi intellectuals and others who want an end to the madness, who are embarrassed by this Wahhabi shit. And that's what Bossy's against, and they're all put there by Israel. Israel coordinates that whole thing. Why? They want to make the Ode-Genon plan work. To do that, they have to make everyone hate the same people Israel hates. That is, Muslims who fight back. So instead of having a rational, emotional resistance, possibly with firearms, to the expansion of Israel's border into greater Israel, you have to turn them into Wahhabist, head-chopping lunatics and start blowing up and bombing discos in Germany. They have to run around and capture aircraft, and they have to run around and fly planes into buildings, allegedly, in New York, which, of course, Israel is always behind it. They are the forward fire base. So maybe we can educate Ricardo Bossi and the Aussie Cossack on this and their close relationship with Russia for many decades and their close relationship with China. Let's now next go to Max Ighan explaining the light beam that hit him in the head, and you'll see this meth psychosis in all its glory.
Hi folks, did I get your attention? I figured I would. That was kind of the point of the exercise, really. Man trying to deal with, have his entire life flash before his eyes. And conspiracy theory, there's nobody here. I'll just show you. There's all these sort of conspiracy theories that people come up with, reflections in my glasses. It's all good, folks. There's nobody here. Bed, and this white light comes down and hits me in the forehead. And then I started having these massive downloads. Truth is subjective, depending on what you want to believe. I mean, now I've figured out the truth. But I've figured out how it all works. Truth is subjective. The globe universe, or the globe earth, the flat earth, the holographic universe, the fractal universe, the electric universe, they all fit together. And you can have two truths. But I've figured out what the truth movement's been all about. That's how this predator works. The Chitahuri, the Archons, Jinn. Infant human beings are born as strange, luminous balls of energy that is tightly adjusted over their cocoon of energy, where man was where the energetic flares of our pseudo-concerns. All of this begins to make perfect sense. We're doing it all online, which is being all now transferred into this, and there's a world being created inside there, the mainframe, where we have already been half transferred into the mainframe. Got the bigger world, then you've got the world in the computer screens, that it is our...
Who is known for his excellent research.
And it's a biological robot. The only way out of this matrix, grow your energetic cloak of awareness back, is, oh, the light from God, I'm the chosen one. Oh my God, you know, the earth's flat and I'm the chosen one. Oh my God, Max has lost the plot, he thinks he's God. And they've got a picture of that red beam coming down from the sky, which completely melted me down, which it did. And what I've done though is figure out how the puzzle works. And this is why they wipe our memory, folks, is get your code of awareness back. Not have those flares of awareness.
Who is known for his excellent research.
Natural size, which is causing these flares of awareness. I'm pretty sure God doesn't use square lights, you know, because I'm supposed to be the enlightened one now, because I'm the one who saw the light, you know. I'm the enlightened one, the light hit me. But no, I'm not saying I'm the second coming. I'm not saying that I'm Christ consciousness. I'm not saying any of that sort of stuff. You know, it's literally lift my consciousness up into a mainframe. But a Russian woman and you know, into all the European stuff, and because they know that the swastika keeps the parasite away. Yeah, I just wanted to get everybody's attention, you know. Yeah, researching. That's the problem. Why did it actually literally came in the room like slowly? You could see the face of the screen sort of. Yeah. But anyway, folks, no, I haven't been infiltrated. I haven't got police around me. There's, you know, it's just. So I'm like, wow, and then I'm in. But anyway, folks, sorry to freak you out. Hope I didn't. I suppose I did, but I hope I didn't. Talk to you soon. You like cash.
Who is known for his excellent research.
Okay, did you enjoy that? Did you enjoy that? Okay. This should be the end of this pathetic, sad old man. Maybe he'll commit suicide, fall down a cliff. I don't know, but he won't. These people just seem to. It's like Robert Steele, NATO Marine Psych Warfare. Children are being kidnapped and taken to Muslim. They just keep going. Nothing seems to stop them. Nothing. Max Ighan will continue to scam and continue to get gullible suckers, and Jeff Berwick, his best buddy scamming mate, will continue to scam little poor lonely little old ladies who contacted me. Maybe it's time we got a group together and reported him to the FBI. What say you? You owe a lot of little old ladies a lot of money, Jeff. I suggest you start paying it back. What say you, Jeff? Jeffrey? You know, the man made his original money smuggling cocaine up his ass in condoms backwards and forwards from Canada and Central and South America. That's how he made his initial money. All right, he's a fucking low-life piece of garbage. So, of course, another low-life piece of garbage, Max Ighan will find it. Here is a video. The link is below. It's still online on YouTube. It's also in the folder I have on my Mega Cloud account, where you can see Jeff Berwick making excuses. There's whole pages dedicated to this clown. Whole pages where he's saying, man, the $120,000 for all those Mexican passports. Yeah, this guy was sick, and then this guy's dog ate his homework, and I'm so upset too. Sorry, you lost all your money. This is this scammer on full view and full video. It should be enough to have him. I guess the people who exposing the scam are worried about indictment too, because they're trying to pursue illegal passports, which are passports which basically Mexicans tell me you can't get. The days of the Wild West in Mexico are over. I loved it when I first came here, and I'm looking at leaving because they are getting money and facilitating new billions of dollars in new technology and databases, and they will start having cameras, and all the high technology you see in the US will come to Mexico. That's what's going to happen. It's coming to all of Central South America and Mexico. This is the sort of person Jeff Berwick is. Here's a little short excerpt.
So
Yeah.
So I said to my wife, actually, who's very connected here, and we're Canada.
Yeah.
And I said, man, we're dying here. Like, this Acapulco program has been so slow that, and then we had problems in Slovenia, Venezuela, Paraguay. And I was like, we're getting killed here. And she said, I'm going to look into all my contacts. And she introduced me to this new guy.
Yeah.
And he was like even bigger than the other guy. And he goes, no problem. 8 days, no problem. You guys, I know who you are. You're good friends. We'll do whatever you want. 8 days. So I told Magdi and another client to fly out.
Yeah.
And the first day everything went fine. The second day he texted me on WhatsApp and he said, so sorry, it's going to be 6 weeks. I didn't realize how much paperwork was involved. And it's like, it's just been killing me, man. So, like, I just want to tell you, I'm not like scamming you at all. Like, I've never scammed anyone. It's been so hard on me.
Yeah.
And I know we've got a lot of problems. I know this caused you problems. This caused me problems. I said to this guy, you don't even know what you just did.
Yeah.
You've caused a lot of people a lot of problems. He was very apologetic, and he said he just wanted to make sure everything was done right. And when he finally looked into it, it looked like it's going to take at least 6 weeks.
Sure.
And so that's where we're at. And I really have been avoiding you ever since that morning when that guy told me that. I was almost suicidal, to be honest. We've had so many problems with so many people. And I had to drink a lot, actually, just to meet Maggie and our other clients and tell them what happened.
Yeah.
It was really hard for me. I'm not saying you need to be, worried about me or anything. I'm just saying that's why I've been a little bit slow in the last few days. And then Chris, and this is totally truthful.
Yeah.
Chris apparently has bronchitis and he's in the hospital. If I could go back, I wouldn't even get into this business. This has been a complete disaster so far.
Yeah.
The one thing I can tell you is I'm very confident, the Acapulco program will be fine. It might just be a few months delayed. The Acapulco program is it's actually my favorite one. And I hope it gets faster now. But it is so legitimate, like it's almost impossible to even see how it could not be illegitimate, because they come through the whole process, right? They go to the embassy, they get their temporary residency visa, they come here, they get their card, fingerprints, everything. The only thing that goes different is we just speed it up.
Yeah.
And and so it's that one is beautiful. It's a beautiful program, and it's just been delayed by 3 months, and it's really.
There you go, Bossy linking with a lunatic Max Ighan. Please, no one ever again come and tell me you should contact Max Ighan. Please, there is no lower form of slug sea life than Max Ighan. And it won't matter, no matter what I say, no matter how much of a fool he makes himself out to be. He's probably going to get a medal and then be cross-promoted. Probably be on Alex Jones soon. I can compare transgender, tranny, love notes or something. I don't know. But they're all weird, they're all drug addicts, and they're all sexual deviants. And to all the decent sexual deviants out there, no problem with you. God bless average people. As a registered nurse and someone interested in counselling psychotherapy, believe me, everyone's got their little hang-ups. It just seems that in this game, the percentage of loons, whack jobs, sociopathic liars, scammers, and sexual deviants and drug addicts is at a very, very high level. Do not contact me again about Max Ighan. I hope this helps you understand the bullshit artists that have infected this community for a long time. Max Ighan is so slovenly pathetic. I never wanted to even talk about him until I have a friend who's got a brain saying, but he speaks so well, you should contact. I said, dude, you have no idea, Green Dragon, you have no idea how bad this guy is. But now you know. I'm going to leave you before I finish. Sorry, I forgot this is very impromptu. Here is, we'll call her T, Miss T, not Lady T, Miss T, another T, who's well-connected, husband's a pilot, and then I'm going to sign off. Here is emails I sent to her, and I wrote her something to print out and take to her New York Assembly congressperson. She's very political, been involved in university stuff, involved in local politics and state politics in New York. I've edited out the stuff. Here it is. I did this previously, and then I will be signing off, and we'll talk again soon. So have a good day. Lots of interesting stuff happening. It's a very interesting time. Very dangerous time, but very interesting time. Let's see what happens. Here's Miss T and the emails we sent backwards and forwards to each other to give you a little bit of hope about what we do. I'll also be talking to Scout from American Partisan. That's Matt Bracken's crew. They're all on the same network. These guys love the stuff I've done. These guys are 8 years Special Forces and 82nd Airborne and stuff. And we're going to talk to military people. I've looked them up. They seem really straight-laced. There's no crazy gun love. You know, they're obviously firearms experts and they do their own courses. Other people have contacted me, JSOC Special Operations Command at the airfield, Tampa Bay, Florida. They're handing videos around. Other people are trained Department of Homeland Security and policing agencies in various self-defense stuff. So there is stuff happening in the background. And this is just an example of an ordinary woman with a, you know, obviously wealthier, kids go to private schools around New York area, and she's doing the work what we all need to do. Max Ighan will never encourage this. Max Ighan is too nutcasey like all the rest of them. Alex Jones is going to encourage you to do this. None of these, Whitney Webb's not going to encourage you. They'll pay lip service to local government. At least Steve Bannon has done some good things in terms of infiltrating school boards and local government. I'll give Bannon that. Bannon's all over the place. Ever since they arrested him because he went after Kissinger, he's been all over the place, up and down like a yo-yo, whatever. I don't know what drugs he's on or what he's trying to accomplish, but there are some good things because Bannon's political, and I do slap him on the back for infiltrating local government and schools. This is what we've been trying to do ourselves. I've had high-profile court cases. I've got incredible stuff. I've got to put those into videos and get busy, and we will talk again soon. But anyway, here's Miss T, and here's our email exchange, and then we'll sign off and we'll go. You have a great day. These emails, which I've redacted to show you the stuff we are doing in the background. Are you ready? I have redacted some of this stuff. Now, let's go down to my first bit. This is this particular lady contacted me. This is on the 9th of December. Hey, I just wanted to send you an email to add me to your email list. I've been sending your info and videos to college professors at my school. I go to blah, 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 New York. Although most don't comment back, they have confirmed watching your videos. I have a few truthful professors. They cancelled one of my last courses before graduation called Conspiracy Theories in American History. Very telling of the college's culture, but I can tell professors they are waking up and open to the information. If you want me to bring information somewhere, I'm in. I don't want money to do it. I'll just do it to spread the word. I live in such and such New York. You can Google my name and see I was on the blah list at such and such a university while I was completing my first degree. I'm working to become a blah. I have one semester left, and then I'm going to another university to get my master's. I feel that God has called me to become a healer. So many people are struggling with mental health issues. I needed to get a better job than being a blah because it didn't pay well unless it was private duty. In closing, just wanted to offer my assistance if you need something. I'm not an internet person and don't make videos. I interact with people one-on-one. I'm going to make a packet to bring to my children's schools. I mean, not a packet in money, a packet of information. They go to blah private schools, and it's pretty private and exclusive, just to let people know where to find information. My friend's husband is it's not Pilate, he's a pilot, and knows a lot of connected people. I'm going to ask him to look at your content when I go over to her house next. I don't know if it's helping, but I'm telling people in my everyday interactions, if you need anything, let me know. I feel so terrible for all you went through just to share the truth with people. You tried protecting Americans, but yourself at risk doing it. Take good care of yourself, Mr. Brandon, blah, blah, blah. It's Brandon. It's Brendon. Okay, so these are the types of people we talk with, and I've got a dozen of these people who are saying, I'm not, the people who work Department of Homeland Security, they train them, they train police, they have all sorts of stuff, all right? We'll be talking to the military very soon. Special Forces people. So I replied back, yes, you're one of the many doing this, and I appreciate it, and the world appreciates it, though they don't see it. A lot of people contact me with similar stories. They train DHS, policing, etc., but cannot go public. I was taking calls from JSOC, that's Joint Special Operations Command, Tampa Bay at their airfield. All the videos were being passed around, that's Special Operations Command. I could hear the Osprey taking off. Keep up the great work, and it makes me feel better to know you're out there quietly shifting things along, which is why I always comment there are things happening, we just don't often see it. I just know monkey see, monkey do. I come from a different time period where every single week someone was out on the street doing some sort of stunt, calling politicians, etc., recording calls and interactions with public officials, and now it is just the tame and paid-for professionals, or flat earthers, as we know. A good video for professionals is video where Jeremy Rothschild ambushes damn presidential hopefuls. Keep up the great work. Then she asked me to write a letter that she could hand around to her assemblyman. So this is a letter for the New York Assembly. This is a connected woman. These are the type of people that contact me. It's not the first. Hell, I've had someone ask me to make a video and go after Paul Wolfowitz, would you believe? He owes millions of dollars to this guy, heir to the Hasbro fortune. I could tell you stories, I'll tell you what. Hi. I hope this is me replying to her. I hope this is to your satisfaction. If you feel you need to edit something, let me know. You may have relevant local knowledge on how best to approach. I've CC'd the email, I hope you don't mind, to a trusted friend in Australia who has recently gained seats at the local government level and plans for much more. I'll tell you all about that another day when he's fully public. Just delete this top part of the email, send it to the relevant government addresses, then print out and the sent emails and post as registered mail. Maybe put a brief handwritten cover letter on top. This is to ensure they know you mean business and will not be going away anytime soon. Good luck. So this is to the Honourable blah, 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 and all his responsibilities. Regarding security, and you could, I'll put this in my Patreon, and I will, if you want, I can, I'll put it in a text file, if you like, rather than a Word document, in a text file, and you can download it, but it'll be on my Patreon. Regarding security of US critical infrastructure and the national security risk posed by the nation of Israel, dear Minister, blah, 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 or it's Assemblyman, blah, blah, blah. Please find below specific information on Israel and its well-documented role in cyber espionage and subverting the cybersecurity of the United States. Now, people, please look at this. You notice how it's nicely broken up? It's probably too long. You could do it even shorter, but it's nicely broken up. I haven't put, by God, what are you doing? Exclamation mark, underline, bold. You don't do that. You just do calm, unemotional, and don't get me wrong, I'm an emotional person, but I've had to learn. You've got to remove emotion. And the more concise and quick you can make that letter, and you drop the hints that you won't be going away, the more they will listen to you. Of course, it helps if you're a bit more connected. It helps if you're got a few friends in interesting places, but it's not always necessary as long as you know how to lobby and are not one of these people that needs instant gratifications where if you don't get a pat on the head and a medal, you're crying and you're running back to Facebook so all your friends can give you a little snuggle. Please find below specific information on Israel and its well-documented role in cyber espionage and subverting the cybersecurity of the United States. Also attached are PDF documents of security briefings provided to the Australian, American, Iranian and Lebanese governments on identifying and dealing with Israeli espionage against the United States and others, and that's that briefing document I did with Sufyan in Lebanon. I also included here How Israel Rules the World of Cybersecurity by Vice on HBO. That's a very hard to find. They've really hidden that on YouTube, but I have, so you can find it easily. That's a great, the February, March 2018, 5 million views. Israel's global role as a, quote, cyber technology juggernaut is not well known to the general public and many government officials. It is a subject, however, that is gaining a wider and deeper audience with the revelations of Israeli military intelligence-based private companies like Black Cube and NSO Group and their smartphone spying software Pegasus. This is but the tip of the iceberg. It may come as a surprise to yourself that core critical infrastructure security in the United States is handled by Israeli companies like Red Group, not American companies. This should be cause for extreme concern given revelations of both Chinese and Russian deep penetration of core US systems. The founder of Red Group is Zohar Zisapel. His background was Israeli military intelligence. What seems to escape the attention of the general public debate is that the state of Israel has a deep and ongoing relationship with both Russia and China, and frequent Pentagon memos have called out Israel for selling sensitive US technology to both countries. Israel's high technology sector is dominated by Russian emigres from the former Soviet Union. Israeli news media have detailed the sensitive KGB archive that exposed the deep penetration of Israel by both the Soviet KGB and GRU. That penetration has not stopped. It has increased. This online Jewish journal produced a 5-part series on the issues. They claim only 3% of the documents regarding Soviet penetration of Israel have been released. What is released is frightening enough, especially considering the massive investment by American companies within Israel, especially Microsoft and Intel Corporation. Can this explain the massive hacking of Microsoft? And there's the link to those 5-part Ynet News article. Ynet News did great info. Some of the best information I get is out of the Israeli press, because they don't want Russia. They want the Americans to step in. They're waiting for America to step in and just occupy them. There were also rumors that the Intel Corp 10-nanometer Ice Lake chip design disaster was a purely Israeli affair. There was some industry talk that Israel had been caught placing highly sophisticated hardware backdoors within the new Intel chip design. It was a disaster for Intel, placing their new high-end chips 2 years behind its main competitor, AMD, and losing vast market share in the highly sensitive, as well as lucrative, data center market. And there is DEFCON 26, Christopher Domas, God Mode Unlocked, hardware backdoors in redacted x86 infrastructure. And that's his other one done at Black Hat. Watch it. And what that's saying is that if you don't know, there is a tiny chip, it's the ARC processor, and not the ARC, they're calling the new Intel graphics card the ARC. This is the ARC processor, and they even have an ARC Microsoft attached website, would you believe, in Hong Kong. But the ARC processor was a tiny processor within the main processor that ran Minix, which is a miniature Linux, and it was completely below the operating system and gave complete, full and total backdoor access. It wasn't just weaknesses in hardware like side channel attacks via the hyperthreading problem. This was a chip within the chip. That is what Christopher Domas is talking about, and I believe that him, people like Mudge, Peter Zatko, the head of DARPA security, and DARPA itself caught them out. That was the beginning of the end of the disaster of the 2018 revelations on Spectre and Meltdown. And Brian Kuchanik saying, we consider ourselves an Israeli company as much as an American company. Wait for the book, documentary and movie on what went on at Intel. Just you wait, Henry Higgins. Just you wait. I've also put in this playlist, of course, understanding the big picture. Here are the individual contents of the playlist. You know that playlist. My UN, he has a highly, it's talking about me, he has a highly detailed 1,018-page UN refugee document. There's a link to the refugee document. He produced the below document below, also attached with a Saudi national after both travelling to Lebanon to speak to the media and former government officials and university staff. And that is Sufyan's excellent work, which is now a book, Industrial Zionism, Espionage, Deception and Interstitial Compromise. Yes, I did edit it, assist with the editing, and I wrote the intro. Thanks, Sufyan. Anyway, you did good work. I forgive you, but we're done for sure. Can you please indicate you have some understanding of the issues and ensure your immediate government network will be alerted as to the seriousness of the issues raised? Can you suggest further US government departments to lobby? Can you provide assurances to the American people these issues are on the highest priority list considering the extremely tense times in which we live and the need to secure US taxpayer-funded high technology? It may take some time to digest the materials. I will call in 1 week to ensure the email and register's mail has been received by your office. I thank you in advance. I thank you in advance for taking the time to go over the materials and provide some feedback as to what my group can do next in terms of political lobbying and forming information awareness programs. We're available to you in the future to support you in any way possible to further US national security interests. Sincerely, blah, blah, blah. Now that is being taken around to some very interesting people. If you want a copy of that, to just edit it down for yourself. Jason Funes is still running around doing some good work. I had a chat to him today to express my disappointment, and he said, look, I have to do my own thing. Just leave me to do my own thing. Well, at least he's out there mixing it with people. He's still informing on Israel high technology, and it just may be that him handing that redacted document that he slightly altered, that I did with Sufyan, and he got it to DeSantis' people, because Jason Funes used to work in the Trump administration at the not Department of Energy, the lands, I can't remember, but he was working in the Trump administration. And Patrick Berge hates him for pretty pathetic reasons. Basically, Berge's a pothead that sits in his office all day talking to his little tour friend, and now he's hanging with Goo. He said, "I'm talking to Lynn Wood. You want in? You want to hang out now? I'll forgive you." I gave him some good press, and I did, because Berge did some really good work. It was very important. But then you go off and toss me a bone, say, oh, shout out to Brendan O'Connell. Not, oh my God, Microsoft and Intel are in freaking Israel. This is a catastrophe, our critical infrastructure. And all that stuff. Didn't say a fucking word. Enough of these people. Jason Funes is doing 10 times the work he is doing. And he's talking face to face with people. Doesn't matter what you think of him or you hate him because he's a Trump tard. He's doing good work. He's getting out there. We need to infiltrate the Trump movement. And it might just be that you see Donald Trump changing that narrative is because of the work we've done. It's not the first time. We, a group of people, they went out, we got DOD email addresses, we got Department of Homeland Security addresses, and I sent out about 80 emails, very well written and very concise, and I actually put at the top, I can't even find them. I've got them archived because I've chopped and changed and got rid of my old Bok.rocks emails, but in that thing, I actually put out there, using mail merge, security clearance, no security, just it had a little official title and just got straight into the head of a CEO of Microsoft, which is Asaf Rappaport, and how he was Israeli military intelligence Unit 82 and Telpiot program. And we talked about the Jedi Cloud and how the Azure Cloud, including the Jedi Cloud, was being handled by Israel. I did that in a nice email within 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So no, that was the other guy. That was Avigor Liebman. We got rid of him as well. So I'm trying to remember the time frame. Let's say a month. It was at least a month. So on December 2019, Asaf Rappaport suddenly resigned, and there's articles about that, and they were easily found. Asaf Rappaport, ASAF Rappaport, RAPPAPORT, Asaf Rappaport. And I'll edit this up and put those documents in. So don't tell me politics doesn't work. Don't tell me that lobbying doesn't work. You've got to start lobbying the right people.